Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about linking phase in the compilation and execution of a C code. So I've already discussed first three stages, pre-processing, compilation and assembly in the previous video. So now I'll discuss about linking phase. So before heading towards this phase, let me just quickly revise these concepts. So you take a source code, you have a C program which has the extension of .c, and it passed over to this pre-processing phase which converts source code into the pre-processed code by including the header file into the source code and by expanding the macro and also by removing all the comments. Now this compiler will take the pre-processed file and then it will convert that code into the assembly code. Now this assembly code is then converted into machine level instructions in the assembly phase. At last, your linker will come into picture, and it is basically a program that takes one or more objects generated by the assembler and it integrates them into a single executable program. So we'll understand this linking using an example. So let's go to the linking part. Okay. This is the definition. We'll come back to the definition once we are done with this example. So I'll be taking one very simple example of C program to make this clear. So let's say we have this program which is written in the notepad. So this is my editor where the same program is being copied, right? So line by line now we'll understand what your linker is, how your linker is coming into the picture. Let me open this Paint. Now one by one, let's take the statements. Just forget this first line, leave this first statement, and let's start from the second statement. So this include stdio.h, as I have already explained, it is going to include the content of this file into the source code. And this is the main function from where your program actually starts executing. Now what is written over here? So in this program, I'm trying to find out the square root of a number. So square root of a number, which number I would like to take the square root of 37. So if I say n is the number and in this n 37 is stored. Okay. So 37 is stored in n, and what type of number is this? I am saying this is an integer type number. So in C programming language, I have not discussed yet what are the data types, like what type of numbers can be there, what type of values you can store. So right now I'll be focusing on only two things, integer and float. So you just need to understand, let's say you have a real number like 37.5 and you have an integer number like 37. So in very simple terms, if you have to represent this integer number, you'll have to use int. Okay, and if you have to represent a float number like this or real number like this, so you'll use another data type in C that is called float. Okay, so I'll discuss all these parts in detail in coming future videos, but right now, just to make this example clear, I'm just giving you a small gist of it. So what int is representing, that this number is of integer type and this is stored in n. Okay, and this float is representing that a number which is going to be stored in A, that will be having one real value. Okay, some decimal will be there, decimal point will be there, and then a number, such type of number can be stored in A. This is the simplest meaning of statement number 5. Now look at statement number 6. In line number 6, we have written something like this. So understand this particular example by taking the right hand side first. So what is happening over here is you have taken sqrt. Now you have to find out the square root of this number 37. So I am saying that square root of number, I don't know how to find the square root. I don't know the logic behind it. Okay. So let's say there are developers of C, those who have already created the logic for finding out the square root. So they already know what is the square root of 37 or square root of any number. They have already figured it out. So the code for finding the square root is already written somewhere. Now what you are trying to do in your program, if you are a developer or you are a programmer, you are just going to call this functionality. You are not writing the code by yourself. You are just call this functionality which is already defined somewhere by passing this value n. So you have to remember this name. In order to find out the square root of a number, you are going to just pass this number 37 to this particular functionality. okay, which is written somewhere. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so as a programmer, I remember just the name. And what this functionality will return you, it will give you the answer of the square root, the answer of this entire thing. So let's say the square root is 6 point some value. So this value is being returned by your square root function. So now the returned value will be stored somewhere. So the placeholder or this value is being holded by variable a. So I am saying in A, the result will be stored. Okay, so 6 point some value will be stored in A. Now, why I have written float over here? Because this number is representing a real value. So in order to store real value, I'll have to use float. So that is why I have written float in the left hand side, but integer in n, because 37 is integer number. So in this way, your program is working in this case. So are you writing the logic? Do you know how to find out the square root of a number? No. You are just calling a functionality which is already written. Somewhere has already developed this code. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. There comes your linker. So whenever your compiler will find out this sqrt statement, it is going to do what? It is going to look for mat.h file. Now there are two terms involved. First, there is sqrt function which is already defined somewhere. So the code, the functionality is written somewhere, okay? And I'm saying whenever your compiler encounters sqrt, it will look for mat.h. So there is a similarity, okay? There is a relationship between mat.h and sqrt. So mat.h header file, basically it has some information about sqrt. It stores some information about sqrt. Okay, so what type of information it stores, that is actually beyond the scope of this particular lecture. So we are going to discuss this thing in functions topic. Okay, in the coming tutorials, in the functions topic, I am going to discuss about mat.h and other library functions. So right now you just need to understand some information related to this already defined function is present in mat.h file. Okay, so that is why you have to include mat.h file, otherwise your program will lead into error. Right? So let's understand again this exam. This is this by taking it. Right, so let's take this example where we have an address book, and let's say in address book we have the address of Ram and address of Sham stored. Alright, but the actual house of Ram and the actual house of Sham, they are located somewhere else. So similarly, just like we have this scenario over here, similarly we have mat.h header file in which only the information regarding sqrt and power, these type of functions which are available in mat.h, just the information, some type of information is available in the header file, but the actual functionality is available in sqrt. The actual functionality means how this code works, how the logic of sqrt is written. So in mat.h header file, we have the information about various mathematical functions, like we can find out the power of a number, exponential, cosine of an angle, etc. So for all these mathematical functions, the some functionality is available over here, but the actual code is present in a different file that is called as library file. So this example I've specifically taken just to make this thing clear that header file and library files are two different things. In header file, just some information is present, and in library file, actual function definition is present. So I'll talk more about header files and library files in coming sessions, more specifically in the functions videos of C. Alright, so meanwhile, if I talk about this thing, then why do we need this approach? Why can't we write the code by ourselves only? Why are we depending on a particular header file? Just to save time. So first thing is it is saving us time to write the code by reusing the code which is already developed by someone else. And also there might be many people who are using the same code, and the chances of having error in these codes are now negligible. So if you want to know, if you have the knowledge of these library codes, then you go ahead and use it, because you don't have to redefine it. All right, and these are not error prone. So let's understand and execute this entire code. So we have understood this statement. This statement is also clear. So I'll talk about this also. First, let me just find out the output. So open our command prompt. Increase the font size. Change the drive where okay, I'm already in C drive, but you want to change the directory where your program is present. So inside my programs directory, this particular .c file is present. Okay, so you have to give the command using GCC. What is the file name? File name is sqrt.c. So sqrt.c. I've already told you these steps in the previous video. So sqrt, those who don't understand this part, please go ahead, go to description box, the link is already provided and you can understand the other steps. So the square root of 37 is 6.0802763. All right, so the answer is coming like this, and you know the square root of 36 is this number. All right, why this is coming? Because we have used this functionality which is present, some part of the functionality is present in mat.h and the actual functionality is present in the library file. All right, now linker does what? Linker is a program that will take our code, that is what? sqrt.c. This is our code, sqrt. So it is going to take our code and it is going to combine our code with the other object files. For example, if I talk about sqrt, the code for sqrt is written, let's say, in a file. So this linker is a program that is going to link that file and our file together, and it will produce an executable code. And finally, your program will be able to combine and will give you the result. Right? So in order to see this statement, if you talk about printf, so what is happening over here? Let me just clear it out and execute it again. Okay. So it is giving you the square root of this number is NA. Why? What type of syntax is here? So we know that inside printf, whatever is written inside double quotes, that will be printed as it is onto the screen. So inside double quotes, what is written? The square root of percentile D is percentile F. Okay. So instead of percentile D, it is giving you 37, and instead of percentile F, it is giving you this number. So from where this 37 in this number is coming? So if you look very carefully, after this first comma, this value n is getting replaced at this position, and the next value is getting replaced at this position. Okay, so this value is now moved to first position and this value is now moved to second position. Okay, in a particular sequence. So percentile D specifically means that you are going to print an integer number. So 37 is an integer number, and percentile F means you are going to print a value which is of float type or a real number. Alright, so in this way you are getting this type of output, because in N 37 was originally stored, and in A our output was stored, which we found out from this square root function. So in this way you are getting this output. The square root of 37 is 6.082763. Alright, so now we can close this program and we can go back to our PPT. Okay. So linker does what? It is taking your different object files. It can be any number of files that you are trying to insert in the program. The same way we are inserting mat.h, we are also inserting stdio.h content in the source code. And this stdio does what? It is going to handle standard input-output functions. It has the functionalities, or it has some code related to this printf function. So if you go back, this function, this printf function, this function is contained in a separate pre-compiled object file printf.o. So if I talk about printf specifically, the functionality is written in some other file that is called library file, and some information related to printf is written in stdio.h file. So in header files, whether it is mat.h or stdio.h, they contain some information related to a particular function. That can be sqrt or that can be your printf. Alright, so it's the functionality, some information related to sqrt is available in mat.h, and some information related to printf is available in stdio.h. And if you do not include these header files, obviously you are going to get error. Alright. So in this way you can understand that this linker is it is a program that is performing what task? That is simply linking these pre-compiled object files. Okay, so these files are already compiled, that is why the extension is .o. So finally the result, whatever you are getting, is the executable code, and that you can easily run. Right. At last, you can see the typical C program development. An entire C program, what are the various steps involved? What are the various phases involved? So we have already talked about this pre-processing, compiling. There is assembly phase as well, and linking phase. All right. So this is your disk from where you are getting the file, and then this pre-processing is acting on the file and again saving the file on your drive, that I have already shown in the previous video, where we were applying these operations and we were able to see the content of the pre-processed file, and that file was again stored in your drive, okay, in your C drive where your program folder was there. So finally, once you are done with all 4 stages, there is another program that comes into picture, that is your loader. Okay, so what happens is this loader comes into picture, that is another part of your program. It loads the program for your drive into the primary memory, because we know that in order to execute a program, the program first has to be loaded from your secondary device to your primary memory. So this loader is responsible to get your program from the hard disk drive or SSD, and it will load that program in the RAM, and finally your CPU will fetch the instruction and it will decode the instruction, and finally it executes the instruction. So in this way, your all the phases are now done. So I hope you understood this concept. Thank you so much.